Hello and welcome to episode 162 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is how to stand out like a sore thumb.
Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin.
Now, coach, I know if you're listening to this podcast show, you're probably a coach that's interested in marketing and strategy and sales, and you're probably in the top 5% of personal trainers and fitness coaches around the world. That's safe to assume. I mean, when I was training inside of the gym, I didn't know what a podcast was. So props to you. And considering that you're listening to this show, I want to just share with you exactly why you're not currently standing out, why it's hard for you to gain traction, why you've hired a business coach and he's taught you how to generate leads, he's taught you how to run a Facebook ad, and most likely it begins with, I'm looking for 15 people, right? But you'll take on 100. It's pretty crazy, right? He'll teach you how to run a Facebook ad, he'll teach you how to message all of your Facebook friends, and eventually, and I don't mean he, I mean he or she, or whoever you're working with, right, or worked with, and get you leads. And then you're busting your balls on the phone all day, calling these leads, only to get rejected again and again and again. Can I assume that that's the correct transition of how you're flowing and going about your business right now? And look, you might have tried that for 3 months, 6 months. If you're resilient like me, you would have tried it for about 9. That's what I did when I first started out. And then guys like me that weren't successful at it were like, oh, I'm going to make a bunch of money teaching other coaches how to do this thing that didn't really work. And it's absolutely crazy, right? But with that being said, it doesn't matter, because what matters is how do you actually get results now? Like, I never want to focus on the problem. I'm always solution orientated. And right now, the problem is you're not standing out. The marketplace is saturated. Heck, from where I stand, it looks really, really competitive right now. It looks super competitive to you. Like, there's competition everywhere, right? So how do you stand out like a sore thumb? And we can talk about niching down, and we can talk about, working with dentists, orthodontists, orthopedic surgeons, lawyers, bankers, whatever, right? And that's cool. But the reality is that hasn't helped. If it did, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast show, right? And I know it hasn't helped because we've tried it, we've tested it, we've seen the results, we've gone, blah, that kind of sucks, right? And then what I started to realize when I did this was I had this deeper message. And I think you do too. Like, if you're listening to this podcast, you're a bit of a nerd. And that's great. Like, I love it. Keep listening, keep sharing. But we've got this deeper message deep inside of us that we really want to share. Like, a lot of the times I was releasing content, and my content would be about, the nutritional facts inside of milk and why you shouldn't drink milk and if lactose is good or bad for you. And like, well, that's cool, right? Like, I was told to put out content, and that was the content that I was putting out. Now, the reality was, why was I doing that? What led me to release content at that scale? What led me to release that type of content? Number one, I did it because I was told to, and that's cool. But if you're told to do something and you don't know why you're doing it, it's pretty foolish. And trust me, I was pretty foolish. The second reason why I did that, it was because I looked at everyone else. And I was like, wait, if they're doing it, I'm going to do it. So on Facebook, I saw all these people, all these trainers and coaches on Instagram releasing like these videos. And I was like, I'm going to release training videos as well. I'm going to release nutritional information as well. I'll talk about subs today, I'll talk about supplements and pills, and tomorrow I'll talk about pre-workout, right? And that's how it went. And as I tell this story, I'm sure you can guess why exactly I wasn't standing out, right? First and foremost, I was doing the same thing other people were doing. But the second thing was, deep down, I had a deeper message. Like, when I worked with men, my whole goal was to upgrade them. My whole goal was to take guys who were mediocre, who were living a pretty ordinary life. They'd come home, they'd go to work 9 to 5, they'd come home, they'd sit on the couch and they'd repeat that. And then, these are the men that went through uni. These are the men that told that success was corporate. These are the men that went to uni, graduated, finished uni, got a job that paid them $50,000 to $75,000 a year, rinsed and repeat, couldn't really do anything with their life, take 4 weeks away on vacation a year to escape, eventually find a partner to only be miserable with that partner, right? Have good moments for about 6 months and then be miserable with them, marry them, have kids, and then just, this is the life cycle of men in our modern society, right? And I had this bigger goal of helping them upgrade. Like really, I was doing some crazy stuff. First, I had the guts to kind of go out on my own. Second, I was in shape. Third, I applied disciplinary things such as, organization and structure to my day to help me just live a better life. When my life wasn't great, right? But here's the thing, my life was better than this. And I didn't say that, they told me that. I'm like, oh, you're just traveling all the time, or you're going on holidays when you want, and how are you doing that? And I was looking at myself going, wow, like I'm hardly making 100K a year. But the reality was I had the freedom. Okay? And freedom at 100K is probably 500K when you're stuck and trapped. But I digress. I'm getting to my point, and the point is here. That's at a deeper level. That's what I wanted to do more of, right? I wanted to talk more to these guys. I wanted to talk about the issues surrounding it. I wanted to talk about, the psychological factors, the mindset, all the Tony Robbins stuff, sharing all of that stuff. But deep down, I was scared. And so I looked and I began to fit in because I thought that by standing out, I wasn't going to attract anybody. And this is the biggest paradox. Because right now, the reasons why you fit in is because you're trying to copy everybody. And the only thing that's going to help you stand out is your ability to do what you feel you need to do. And the reality is, I don't know if this is inside of you right now, but there's a message that you need to share to the world that's deeper than fat loss, losing weight, going to the gym, doing cardio, training with weights, squatting technique. There's a deeper message that you have come along this journey, that there is a problem that you want to change inside, right? Whether you've been affected by it personally, whether you've been affected by your friends and family, there is something deep inside that's waiting and it's brewing, and you know that that's what you want to do, but you kind of suppress it because you're scared that that's not what the world wants to hear. And you're scared that nobody's going to buy from you. But more importantly, most certainly, you're scared and you're asking yourself, who are you to step up and talk about that topic? And for a long time, I suppressed that. And for a long time, I was broke. For a long time, I did things that I actually didn't want to do. For a long time, I talked about things I didn't want to talk about. And the reasons why I'm bringing this up to you today is because the way that's going to save you moving forward, the way that's actually going to bring you more hope, more joy, more light, more fulfillment in everything that you do is there in front of you, and you need to grab it and bring it. You need to resurrect it. You need to rip off that treasure that you're buried down under, and you need to talk about that. And I know that if you're listening to this podcast, you're in the top 5%. There is no doubt. There is a message that you need to share. That there is a point of, there is something, there's dissatisfaction inside of the world that you want to change. There is something that you want to change, and you believe that your message can change it. However, the first step to bringing this message to light of what I learned is, number one, to live your message. So whatever message that you are currently, you want to solve, or you're dissatisfied with, or there's a problem that you want to solve, the problem is that you need to step up and you need to own your own message that you're willing to speak about. Firstly, foremost. And what you'll notice is that people will start to come to you. Now, we're talking about stepping up and taking off that personal training hat, right? I've been talking about this for a long time throughout the podcast. Take off that personal training hat, put on the transformation coach hat, and think like a coach. And a coach, what does a coach do? A coach gets clients incredible transformation in not only their body, but their whole life. And as you coach people, what you'll start to realize is, hey, I'm not a person, I'm a coach. I'm a goddamn coach. I step up and transform your life and change your mindset. That's going to have a massive impact on your body, your business, your love, your health, your relationships, everything. And that's what I'm doing, because here's the thing. I don't want you to live a mediocre life. And so with that, my real message today is asking you, are you actually sharing the message that you were called to share, that you know deep down inside? There's a message there and you're not owning it because you're afraid. The truth is, you're probably going to answer yes. What I want you to do today is I want you to bring that message out, and I want you to look at that message, go, what's stopping me from sharing this message? Who's stopping me? What am I scared of? Who am I fearing? What's going to happen if I owned this message? And really future pace yourself. But with that being said, I really do hope that you own your message today, because that has the ability to transform people's lives. putting out more content, opening up a membership site, and putting out another workout program, that's going to add more crap to a pile of crap. Have a great day, my friends. I'm heading off to Tony Robbins. I don't know when you'll get this podcast, but it should be a day or two. Heading off to Tony Robbins on Sunday. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. And so my week is going to be filled with jumping. Probably going to lose my voice. I'm going to do a whole bunch of other cool things as well with Tony Robbins. You never know what you're going to get. But if you want to follow along, I'm sure there'll be some live streams and stuff on Facebook that you can do. Have a fantastic day. And remember that the one thing that you need to do today, start owning your message. Okay? Nobody's going to tell you this. Everyone's going to tell you how to make quick money. But what you'll notice is that you're going to blend in. You're in a saturated marketplace. It's competitive. Today is the day that you step up and own that message.
Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.